Succeed as an entrepreneur in 15 hours a week? Really? You mean actually start a business that turns into a real moneymaker in your spare time? You've probably heard something like this before. Part-time entrepreneur, chicken entrepreneur, side gig or side hustle. It's all the same concept. And the beautiful part about this business starting process is it does not take 40 to 50 hours a week. It starts small, with a seemingly insignificant amount of time, but it has the potential to give you a proof of concept for your new business that will be impossible to ignore if you're aiming to fire your current boss. Let's do this. Welcome to Total Calling, where we explore personal development from a biblical perspective so you can become the person that God wants you to be. I'm your host, Brandon Clay. Before we dive into this concept of a side hustle, let's take a stroll down memory lane. The idea of starting something on the side that has the potential to become a full-time business is nothing new. Years ago, I heard about this approach being described as being a chicken entrepreneur. And no, it has nothing to do with raising chickens. Mark Morgan Ford popularized the concept of chicken entrepreneur when he wrote, "I firmly believe that one of the best and possibly the best ways of growing wealthy is to start your own business. A chicken entrepreneur is someone who keeps his day job while he gets his ideal job going at home in the evenings and on weekends. He is an entrepreneur because he's taking the initiative to start his own business. He's a chicken because he's not willing to quit his current job and lose the income." So what Ford is saying is a chicken entrepreneur is a person who has a job, a mortgage, or responsibilities that he feels he must continue to support, but he also has a dream, something he knows that will not be able to be fulfilled by continuing forever in his job. So he starts something on the side. He uses the nights, the weekends to build a sustainable part-time business while keeping his day job. Make sense? The big question is, how do you do something like this? Well, it's not rocket surgery. In fact, it's something I practiced when on two separate occasions before. One was a successful business and another was a business that was break even, but I decided to close it down. And you can do this too. I've isolated 7 steps to start a side hustle business in 15 hours a week that succeeds. These are steps that almost anyone can do in whatever the circumstances, as long as you carve out enough time to dedicate that 15 hours a week for your project. Honestly, 15 hours a week, it's not a big commitment, considering everyone has 168 hours a week. So that's less than 10% of your week. Want to know more? Let's dive in. Step number 1, start something you know something about. Succeeding in any business is not easy. You have to put as many things in your favor as possible, and even then it may not work. But that does not mean it's impossible. One key factor in succeeding in your side hustle business is to start something you know something about. Here's Ford again. To succeed in any business, you must know certain things very well. You must understand, for example, what kinds of products the marketplace desires and what price points are sweet. You must know how those first sales are made, what specific marketing techniques are employed to generate a sale without spending too much money acquiring the customer. Ford reminds us, whatever business you decide to start, make sure it's something you know something about. This one factor will help you pick something where you're putting the odds in your favor. Step number 2, consider several business ideas. When you're thinking about starting a business, there are many ideas to choose from. I mean, lots. But to keep things simple, here are 5 side hustle business ideas from Fool.com. Number 1, become a tutor or consultant. People may want to pay you for the skills you already have. Think violin teacher, algebra tutor, email marketing consultant. Whatever skills you've picked up along the way that people want to learn, you can teach as a side hustle and make $20, $50 an hour or more depending on the skill and the customer interest. Number 2, start freelance writing. If you like writing and you're good at it, maybe you'd like a writing side hustle. That's actually what I was aiming to do years ago before I got my break at a marketing agency. Good freelance writers can make $30 to $40 an hour or more, depending on the niche and the experience. Some copywriters even get wealthy writing. Idea number 3, launch an e-commerce business. People love buying things online. Just think about how many times you've seen a delivery truck drive by in just the past month. An eBay or Etsy side hustle business may be just the thing to get your business underway. The sky is the limit for a good e-commerce shop. Idea number 4, become an affiliate marketer. What about affiliate marketing? That's basically where you act like a salesperson for other businesses and earn a commission for every sale you send to another company. One of my affiliate businesses made over $35,000 in a few years. It's not full-time income, but it's not bad for a side hustle. Number 5, do market research. Did you know you could get paid to give your opinion? It's possible to make $25 an hour or more filling out surveys. A side hustle as a market researcher can help put some folding money in your wallet and help you succeed in your work-at-home business. Let's get back to the steps for building that side hustle business in 15 hours a week. Step number 3 is pick 1 to 2 business candidate ideas. Of course, those 5 ideas are not all there are. Google more ideas like side hustle business ideas and start writing them down. And as you're considering a potential side hustle business, you'll want to weigh out the cost and the benefits of each one. There are likely many articles and videos about starting and succeeding in each of those potential businesses and some great information on the one that you have in mind. So after you do this initial research for some time, most likely 1 to 2 ideas are going to rise to the top of your list. These are the ideas that you want to consider. After that, talk to people. Your spouse, your close friends, the ones who encourage you. If you can find them, talk to people doing exactly what you want to do and see what their experience is. That research will pay you dividends for years if it helps you pick the right side hustle. Step number 4 is to pray. Now, I'm all about doing the research and talking to people, but keep in mind here at Total Calling, we're doing something that is directed by an eternal purpose, and God knows the future better than you, better than me, better than anyone. He's already there in the future, in fact. Point is, you need to submit whatever ideas to Him and pray about it. Even if you think you have a great idea, pray. Proverbs 16:9 tells us, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." So whatever business candidate idea you've picked for your side hustle business idea, make sure you've prayed about it. God has a way of moving things around and helping you do what it is you should do, even if it's not your first idea. Step number 5, get started. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Now those first 3 steps are good. They are. They were necessary, but now it's time to chop down that tree. All the planning in the world is useless if you don't start doing. More research may get you smarter, but it will not get you richer. So start your side hustle and don't delay. Step number 6, divide your time wisely. Now here's where those 15 hours a week become important. This is the breakdown that Dan Miller teaches over at 48days.com. It's also found in this book right here, 48 Days to the Work You Love. In this model, Dan Miller has built many part-time businesses through his coaching clients. And by the way, all those previous steps can also be done in 15 hours a week, so you're not out a bunch of time at this point. Here's basically Miller's hourly breakdown. For 3 hours, you're going to spend reading, studying, gathering new knowledge. That's 20% of your time. For 5 hours, you're going to create content, work on your book, your courses, your coaching packages. That's 33% of your time. For 4 hours, you're going to work directly with clients. That's 27% of your time. And for 3 hours, you want to build your marketing efforts, to build your brand and your reputation. That's only 20% of your time. Did you see that? Only 20% of your time should be spent on gathering new knowledge. The rest should be in product creation, working with clients, and marketing to build your reputation. And this 15-hour-a-week model works for all the side hustle business ideas that I mentioned before: the tutor, the consultant, the writer, the e-commerce store, the affiliate marketer, and the market researcher. If you want to spend more time on any one area, you may need to expand that 15 hours a week. The more time you spend in the right areas, the faster you should be able to produce a proof of concept. Just make sure you're not neglecting the other vital areas. Before we get to the last step of this side hustle video, if you are getting value from this video, please smash that like button, or you can also click it. That's going to help more people find this video so they too can learn about personal development that's tethered to a biblical perspective. So let's finish it up. Step number 7, stick with it for at least 12 months. Now the last thing may be the most important. That timetable may be arbitrary, but it's a vital principle. Whatever you start, do it for 12 months. Don't deviate from that rule. On one of the businesses I started, a podcast, I was determined to stick with it for a full year. I did, and we hit 100 episodes in about a year. It was at that point I decided it wasn't the thing I wanted to do, and I paused the project. Even though we had revenue and we had finally hit a break-even point in the business. The result, that podcast eventually boasted over 500,000 downloads with revenue. And if you know anything about the podcast business, you know it's hard to make money on podcasts. Here's the point. If you just start something and quit 1 week later, 1 month later, even 6 months later, that's just not enough time to prove the concept of your side hustle. You really need to give it a fair amount of time. 12 months seems about right to see if this business is making any money and if it still makes sense amid your other responsibilities in life. So that's it. To recap, here are those 7 things you want to follow to build a successful side hustle business in 15 hours a week. Step number 1, start something you know something about. Step number 2, consider several business ideas. Step number 3, pick 1 to 2 good business candidate ideas. Step number 4, don't forget to pray. Step number 5, get started. Step number 6, divide your time wisely. And step number 7, stick with it for 12 months. If these videos are helpful, go ahead and subscribe. We're building up a treasure trove of videos that are going to help you become the person that God wants you to be. Videos are released every week to help you on your journey, so subscribe to Total Calling. All the best.